Hi, I'm Dave Such. Welcome to my channel where we talk about all things spiritual. Today we have a topic from Kathleen McFarland, 1817. And Kathleen, about 1 year ago, asked about karma. I'm so sorry, Kathleen, it took me a year to get to this topic, but I think there's a lot of misunderstandings about karma and what karma is and what it isn't. So today we're going to talk a little bit about karma. Now, Kathleen's comment was from my video on the Chinese farmer. It's a 2-minute video. There's a link in the description below for those of you who want to hear that story. But the Chinese farmer is about when good or bad things happen to us, and why does that happen? Well, a lot of people think karma is revenge. You know, I've done something bad to another person, and so now, somebody's going to do something bad to me, or something bad's going to happen to me. Well, there is no revenge, and a lot of people confuse karma with the law of attraction. Now, I did a video about the law of attraction and how that works. You can see it, the video link below in the description for those of you who want to see that video. And the law of attraction is not punishment either. It's not revenge. The creative, benevolent source of love that expresses itself in all things does not have anger or judgment or get revenge. It only loves. And this is the love that's inside of us that we're always connected to. So, the law of attraction basically says, whatever you focus your thoughts, your words, your emotions on, that thing tends to manifest. So it's not punishment, it's just the dark matter fabric of the universe, which is kind of the building blocks of creation, responding to what you're focused on. So it doesn't know what you want or what you don't want in terms of good or bad. It just assumes you want whatever you're focused on. So free will is one of the highest laws of creation. And so if you go around being cruel and selfish and manipulative, you're going to eventually draw more cruelness and selfishness and manipulation to you. And that's not punishment, it's not revenge, it's responding to one's intentions. So that's the law of attraction. Now, karma is something very different. It's an energy that sort of stays with us. And so you will see, for instance, a family where the great-grandfather was a lawyer, and the grandfather was a lawyer, and the father was the lawyer, and now his son is starting to be a lawyer. Well, that's kind of an energy that follows people. And when we talk about karma, what we're really talking about is wanting to balance our energy. So again, it's not revenge. There's no such thing as karmic retribution, but it is a tool, a spiritual tool to balance energy. So let's give an analogy. Let's say we want to run a restaurant. And in this restaurant, we have employees and we have management. And management in our culture here in the USA tends to not always consider their employees and their needs. They tend to treat them like objects to get things out of instead of human beings. And it gives much productivity for as little money as possible. And they can be a little overbearing and cruel and insensitive, as all of us can be, and the employees can be the same way. We can be demanding. As employees, we can complain about the work environment, and both sides may have legitimate complaints, and any good relationship requires compromise and requires working together and understanding the other person's point of view. So let's give this analogy. Let's say we have a restaurant and we want to fill it with employees. Well, one group of people that we have to select from has spent their entire lifetime being employees in restaurants, underneath management, never really getting what they thought was fair compensation, but trying to do a good job and so forth. We have another group that has only known being managers, a group of people that have never been employees, they've only managed restaurants. And then the third group, they spent half their time being employees and half their time in management. Now, who is going to be the best manager for that restaurant? Probably somebody from the group where they were both employee and manager. Who is going to be the best employee? People from that same group that got to see both sides of the issue. So one of the things that Toyota did many years ago, one of the reasons they became such a good car company, is because they developed this new system called Just in Time. And one of the things they did with their company is they would shift the employees around, and they would say, okay, you're going to work on the line for some time. Well, now you're going to work in management. Now you're going to work in finance. Now you're going to work in sales. And they would shift the employees around so that all the employees sort of knew the jobs of everybody else. And when everybody understood the challenges, of finance versus production and all that kind of thing, it makes for a better company. And our goal as spiritual people and having the human experience is to be better at unconditional love. So you can spend time being the king in a lifetime where you're ruling over subjects and sort of abusing them, but you've got this authority that you've got to be the steward of, and you've got this position of responsibility. And then you can spend a lifetime being one of the slaves in that kingdom, or one of the subjects who was not well taken care of. And by experiencing both sides, you learn the other's perspective, and you learn better how to live in unconditional love. So karma is definitely an energy. And when we talk about the opposite, it's not a punishment. I was a rich man. Well, now because I got rich on the backs of the poor, I'm going to have to suffer being a poor man. No, you want to see both sides of the issue, because we learn unconditional love in all circumstances and in all experiences. So one thing I want to talk about is that karma used to be our only tool to do this. Now, this is something I don't understand very well, and Kryon, channeled by Lee Carroll, gives a very good video on karma, and I've got that link in the description. But because we are in a new energy here at this time of our consciousness and development, the energy of love is dominant on the planet. For thousands of years, the energy of fear was dominant, and in recent decades, I'm not sure when it happened, it flipped, and now actions of love and compassion are supported. So, people in the past, when they tried to do good works and have compassion for the fellow man and act with integrity, and a person like that tried to start a business, they would be up against competitors who are willing to compete through cheating and break the rules and do all sorts of things to put them out of business. And then you've got a business holding integrity and holding love and holding compassion. So we're in a new energy now where love is being supported, and people who are carrying themselves both as employees or managers or government employees or people in finance, business, or wherever, if you embrace compassion, love, integrity, and all the expressions of love, God's love, those people are going to start succeeding. And as we mature as a culture and a species, we're going to see more and more successes in those areas. So karma does not have to be followed. It's not our only tool. I don't understand the alternative, but I know that there's an alternative way of working through those energies without having to experience both sides of it. So I think Kryon talks a little bit more about it in some of his talks, and hopefully that clears up karma and makes it a little more understandable for those of us who are working through it. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep spreading your light and love.